right now. Okay, what's up, everybody? Come on in, come on in. We are getting ready to speak and talk to you guys. Make sure that you are present and you send this to whoever you want to send this to, and just talk in the chat. We'll get this popping. It's your girl Victoria, and this is Served on Sundays, and I'm joined by two beautiful ladies here, Kiara.
Hola, hola.
And
Ivy.
Woof. Okay, so you guys, before we get started, I just wanted to check in with you guys and see how you guys are doing today.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I'm doing great.
And you're doing great.
Yes.
Okay, I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Okay, look at that. Who made that for you?
Myself.
Yourself?
Oh, yes.
No way.
No, I didn't make it.
Yes.
It's cute.
I knew she was bullshitting.
So rude.
I'm kidding. Okay, but Kiara, go ahead and tell the people what you do for a living. Reintroduce yourself. You've been here before.
Yes, I have. Welcome back here. So this is my second time being on the show, and I'm very appreciative of having Victoria invite me. Thank you. But I am a personal trainer here in Dallas, and also I am trying to be a women empowerment leader. You know, support women, help them, and love them. So
That's awesome.
it's about.
And what about you, Ivy?
I'm a mommy.
Really?
I'm a mommy of two beautiful daughters. Yes. They're not babies no more, and they're growing up on me. I know. And honestly, I'm pursuing my dreams of acting, modeling, and dancing.
Okay.
And I'm kind of right now at a crossroads between like dancing and acting more so.
Yeah.
Just kind of find the right lane.
Right.
That makes sense. Find the right lane and start my own business to give back to battered women. That's like the main goal, is to get back to battered women. But it's all a process. Like
Yeah.
a big process.
Yeah.
You can do it
A
though.
big
Awesome.
process.
Right. It is a big process.
It's a big
lot.
process.
And you're gonna get there.
Yes.
And I just feel like you really do have that modeling, like bone structure, like that picture. That's why I picked that
You have
picture
the
for the
skin.
flyer, because I was like, oh, snap. Like I was impressed. So I mean, really go for your dreams. I know you
I'm
can
really
get
thinking
there.
about it. Like I've been at a crossroads, 'cause doing it for maybe 7-8 years now. So it's one of those things where every day you have to tell yourself, is this what you want?
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets harder and harder. It's like the deeper you get in, and the more you start to question like
Yeah.
the real reality
Right.
of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And where do you fit? Oh well, you don't fit. So technically, you have to make your own self.
Always make your own.
You have to make your own
Yes.
self kind of not even fit, because you don't want to fit. You want to
Mhm.
be like opposite of fitting.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I understand that now. Be the opposite of fitting. So
You just gotta repurpose yourself every
Yeah.
day. But it's a challenge.
yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the things that people have to do when they come across domestic violence.
Yeah.
When they come across anything in life, like they have to find a purpose every single day. And I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that the topic is going to be about domestic violence. This is your trigger warning, so don't say I didn't give you one. And I just want to go ahead and go straight into it. Do you guys like have anything that you want to say about it, or like anything that just comes off top?
Leave. There you go.
Yeah.
Leave when you can. I would say that. Or it doesn't. And to be honest, when people think about domestic
Yeah.
violence, they're thinking about someone just choking you, holding you up to the
Yeah.
door. It's more than that, right? It's
Mhm.
it's way more than that. Someone telling you, you know, why are you wearing this? You know, or someone telling you like you shouldn't wear this, or controlling you, or you know, hurting your feelings.
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think I heard a knock
We
on
have
the
a
door.
special guest coming.
We have a special guest. Who's? Hello.
Hi.
Come on in. Hey.
Hi.
What's your name?
Hello.
Des. I'm
Des.
Desiree.
Introduce
Hi.
yourself. We're live and popping.
How are you?
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Did I? What?
Oh, you in it. This red seat is for you.
Okay, let me just.
That's the shoe.
Yeah, she was
Thank you.
looking good in those shoes. I love
Yes.
that.
I love this shit. You know, I went to school and we couldn't have backs on our chairs.
Are you for real?
Yeah, so every time I'm in the car, I'm like,
You
Oh,
sit
they
up
made you
straight.
sit up?
yeah,
Oh,
like
I
I went to a private school.
Well, at least
so,
you got good posture.
yeah.
Is that why they?
Well, it didn't really help because the job that I got in, I was always like
Like
bending over.
that.
So
That's crazy.
just-
That's brutal. Like, no.
I know that.
So no sense of flexibility.
I was a phlebotomist, so it was one of those days you just gotta kind of get in there, you know, just.
Really? Oh, okay.
So it's yeah. How are y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Y'all look good.
You look good.
So I just want to introduce you. This is Kiara, and then this is Ivy. And guys, this is Des. Okay, she just popped right in. We wanted to go ahead and make her acquainted. We're about to
You want to buy some wine?
yeah, get a glass of
Sure,
wine.
I can see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, we're about to dive into the topic, but before we do, I want to go ahead and get to know you a little bit. Like, what do you do for a living? Like, what are your passions?
So right now I am an entrepreneur, podcast host. I do some brand ambassadoring. I'm actually trying to get into tarot right now. Ex-phlebotomist. I just kind of like have my hands in a lot of things. And you know, it's really funny that we're talking, thank you, about domestic violence because the guy I actually had that encounter with lives in the apartments right across the way.
What?
Like literally right across the way, like
Oh.
directly across from your apartments. And so I saw Timberland and I'm like, it sounds familiar,
Uh-huh.
but it's not the name of his place. But
Yeah.
he lives literally directly across the way.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
How
crazy.
was your
as hell.
feelings on that? Like,
It's kind of weird now
Uh-huh.
because it's been so long. It's
Yeah.
been about 2 years,
Uh-huh.
but it's still crazy because narcissistic
yeah,
behavior
it
is
still can stick with you.
So
A
cheers
very
to
long
you
time.
guys.
Right?
Can I have that last cup?
Well, let me know, girl. We can go
Sure,
in
thank
a little
you.
bit.
Yes. Other than that, I have one kid and
Hey,
She
she
is
got
so
me.
beautiful. Oh my
thank
goodness.
you. Yeah, she's 10 and she's a Taurus, so
Aww.
it's one of those situations.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29? And you're 29 too,
That's
right?
me.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
2 29s, 2 mommies. I love to see it. How old are you?
24.
24. I'm 24 too. So
Hey.
I just wanted to throw our ages out there in case they
Yeah.
I'm 24.
24.
Yes. Girl, y'all don't look like it. I gotta just so young. Like,
Yeah, black don't crack. You know what I'm
We do
saying?
really
Black
well,
don't crack.
so.
Don't you do music too?
I do music, funny enough. I'm slightly nervous, so I might have left that out. But yeah, I'm an artist, but I'm not like out there more with the music. The music is more or less like a hobby.
Yeah.
I would like to say, just not really what I'm into. I want to do podcasting more than anything.
Yeah.
But yes, I do have a song, and actually it's supposed to drop today, but we pushed it back to tomorrow because it's going to debut, and I'm going to be on a 365 Project Hustle.
yes.
Okay.
So
Yes, yes.
look out for that.
Yeah.
And then so I want to ask, like, how is that like just doing music for fun? Because I like to rap for fun, but I don't want to be like out there. Like, I don't want my song to blow up. Like, I want it to just be
Oh
like,
my God.
You know what?
no, I just wanted
Music
to.
everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah,
that is
Everybody
true.
really doesn't have it.
That's
So
true.
I feel like if you do, you should utilize it.
Go with it.
And so
That's
me,
true.
I'm just kind of, I wasn't more or less like a music person. I just was really good with my words. So I would say stuff to people, and sometimes it'll be like, oh, that sounds like it should be in some music, and I'm like, no, you know. And I never really wanted to be that Rihanna. Like I wanted to be
Yeah.
the ghostwriter.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I
Yeah,
didn't
because
really
the
want
That's
ghostwriter
where the
makes
money
more money.
is.
It's
Yeah.
all in the writing.
And I didn't really
Behind
want
the
to be
scenes.
the center of attention, kind of on stage doing all that.
Right,
I just
right.
rather than just.
Because that's nerve-wracking.
I'm definitely not
Yeah.
touring if it gets violent. So.
See.
You know, what's her name?
Summer Walker.
Summer Walker?
Yeah, like
Summer
you
Walker.
follow her. She
Yeah.
she really doesn't like it.
She
Yeah.
doesn't. Oh, yeah.
She
She
does.
hates
Yeah,
it.
she.
But-
Most of them don't like it. It's a lot of them say they didn't. They just tried it out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna try it out, and besides like back in the day, you grew up in church, you sung, somebody saw you, put you on the market, boom, you famous.
But what's rare for her is that she really doesn't give a fuck about the money.
No, she
At
doesn't.
all. She still doesn't.
Yeah,
She
I
doesn't
really think
care
there's
at all.
something going. Like, to be honest, I think there's something going down with London. and her. Like
You
can see
tell
through the bigger
relationship. It's
picture,
just kind of,
like the persona of. I don't know if you saw her. Did y'all see her tour? And she was like kind of like Sex Kitten out, and she was singing and stuff. That's all London. Like I was paying attention to that in 2019. I was like,
yeah.
that's not Summer.
Summer,
Her
yeah.
music, like Put It On My Grave.
Mhm.
That's on some like emo.
Yeah.
Nigga, I don't know who you think I am. Excuse my language. I love you.
Sorry.
But like, I don't know. I just some things with the hip hop industry, you know about like the sex cults and things of that sort. Those are not
Oh, yeah.
conspiracies.
No,
those are
real.
very real.
No, those are real.
They just don't. It's not talked about.
Yeah, that's
It's not
very
talked
true.
And it goes on right in your backyard, right in front of your face, with common people that you know.
And that's what really breeds a lot of domestic violence in the industry, rape in the industry.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know this, but Dr. Dre, like, he literally beat up a woman in a bathroom
I
and
didn't
then
know that.
raped her. Yes.
I didn't know that.
So many
Is it
people
okay?
do not know this,
I did not
but
know that.
there was like so many news reportings on this,
Wow.
and people just overlooked it. And then people from NWA was like, "That bitch deserved it," because she was like a, what do you call it, like me?
Like a
She was like
groupie?
no, she's like me. She talks about people or whatever.
Oh,
okay.
So
So she was
technically,
like,
they're saying
oh, that
she
she
had it
deserved
coming
it.
or
Yeah.
whatnot because you've already been poking the bear.
Yeah.
So
But
that doesn't give it an excuse.
I didn't know
And it
that.
doesn't.
one.
And then
I
that
went 1 year.
correlates to,
Oh, yeah.
sorry, that correlates to like when he dated that one celebrity, the one with the very high pitched voice, Michelle A, right? So a lot of people don't know about that either. So you should watch the Lifetime movie because that was actually hard to watch. Have you seen
That's
it?
crazy. No.
See, I stopped watching. I stopped
I didn't
watching
even know that about
Lifetime
it.
after Whitney Houston.
Yeah, Lifetime is very triggering. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's
Yeah, I had my first traumatic experience in watching What's Love Got to Do with It.
Right.
And that was like one of the first movies that I saw on
Yeah.
Lifetime. And it was the first time that I was like, oh my gosh, men do this to women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it scared the, can I say piss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
say-
It scared the piss out of me. Like, seriously. And from then on, it was just kind of like when I saw it, it was just like, wow. And it wasn't really until, because I'm not from here, I'm from DC.
Mhm.
And in DC, growing up, we saw things, but it wasn't to this extent. But when I moved to Dallas, like, I saw some stuff,
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
see stuff.
still
And it's
like,
Yes.
They do it
In public.
yes, yes. And
They
it's
just-
like there's
there's
no
no
boundaries,
aggression.
and I'm
They
just
don't
like,
care.
how do you all feel
They
so
feel like it's
comfortable?
just. I don't understand. Like
It's
what
gotten
I'm saying,
worse
because it's the
over the
southern.
years.
A woman should bow down to a man because we're in the southern. The man makes the money, the man brings it
Yeah.
home, the lady sits here and cooks.
She's supposed to be that
brings
Bible
it,
wife.
They believe in that stuff down here.
Hard.
No, for sure.
Texas, the South we are built, and I hate to say it, Texas is not Democrat. Sorry to say that, y'all. It's Republic if y'all didn't know that. But
True, very true.
But
Very
Texas is
Republican.
very, very, very Republican because we live in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, so domestic violence in Texas, period. Like, let me see if I can show you all this real quick. 40% because of COVID-19, because we're in COVID-19 now. So domestic violence rates were about 20% calls in Texas. This is Texas worldwide of Texas. Now because of domestic violence, it's gone up because of COVID-19.
Oh, yeah.
40%
Yeah.
in
Everybody's
Houston.
in the house together.
Right.
20% in San Antonio, but then in Dallas, Texas, over 211,301 victims of family violence. That's in
just
Dallas.
what-
That's just in Dallas.
That's just what we know about.
There you go.
That's
And
what
I was
we know
like
about,
researching
right.
online, like, okay. And again, you guys, I am a mom and an entrepreneur and a dancer. I am not a psychological degree person, so this is all stuff that I got online. So you can Google this stuff. You think
Even
I'm
I
hard.
also want to point out this is something that I don't think a lot of people take into consideration. And I'm looking at it more now
Mhm.
that domestic violence isn't a woman situation.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been coming across a lot of men recently
That
who've
been
been in
going through
these
it, yeah.
Domestic.
third party
Mhm.
situations because the girlfriend is nuts, and then you go to somebody else who's even more nuts,
That's very-
and then
that's
it
very
just,
true.
you know, and some of our, I feel like a lot of our men don't get
No.
the attention that they need when it comes to it. But of course you're not going to know it because
Yeah.
men feel like, no, we shouldn't. So
Yeah.
I just want the men to know you all are not alone.
No.
Right.
And, you know, even though it may not happen as much as women do, but we can't disregard
Guard
You
the
can't.
the man.
Because women can do even work, you know.
They can do way
they're
worse.
I've
married
seen
women,
some
men-
very
Yes.
mean women.
Yes.
And
for
I'm
sure.
just and I'm talking about more
Yes.
aggressive
Yeah.
men. So yeah, I've seen somewhere, and sometimes guys they'll be so like, I can't hit a girl. I wasn't raised like that.
I was
No,
gonna
I
get on
wasn't
that.
either.
So this may be veering off the topic a little bit, but like, what are y'all's thoughts on a man actually hitting a woman
Jesus.
back?
My mother always
See.
taught me, do not put your hands on anybody unless you're expected to get hit back.
Mhm.
And so my thing is, if a woman is literally just attacking you,
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta.
you better ball up that fist and knock her out.
Right.
And I say that, and I mean that because the thing is, we can't. We don't want them getting over on us when
Yeah.
they do it. So why should
we
we
get over
you
on
know?
them?
That's very
Mhm.
true.
And
That's
we
very
need
true.
and we need our men. We really
We do.
need our men. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
we got to protect them as well.
Yeah.
But some women would still say that that is abuse, like, you know what I mean? So, and they're like,
Yeah, but I mean,
Viewpoint.
I raised boys before I had daughters. Like, I have 2 daughters now, but I raised so many little boys.
mhm.
At the age of 16 growing up, raised my 2 little brothers, then
Yeah.
2 twin boys. And I've always, the motto was, if she's picking on you, you ain't do nothing. You did what you were supposed to do. You told the teacher.
Right.
The teacher didn't do anything, this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, baby. Don't hit her, but get her back where it don't hurt too bad.
Right.
Like pinch her or push. Mine was always push her off of you.
Right.
Yeah, I think
It's
I mean,
easier to
I
push
feel
her
like
like push her like
if
because
a
boys
woman-
push hard.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just
They push
a
hard.
I
push
don't
is acceptable, but like
When
how
I'm-
people will bring up, like, I'm sorry, how people will bring up like Rihanna hit
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
I know
I'm like,
that
but the end
situation.
result with
Yeah.
that, to me, is not justifiable. Like,
No.
he went overboard in how he
Yeah.
reacted.
Now that I will say, I don't recommend going overboard. Now you have some women, because I've seen some women beat the mess out of men.
Yeah.
And you'll be looking like, how did she do that? Like,
Sure.
and you
Because
have
he
some.
didn't
So
do- yeah.
sometimes it's, to me, it's no different than, you know, police brutality.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Ain't no way I'm finna sit here and let you just. And sometimes you have to have,
Yeah.
you have to apply some force for people to understand. Like, I'm not finna sit here and let you just.
Run over me.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to. Now go on. Now if once you done got her,
Yeah,
you
you
got
go.
to take that.
You go on.
Okay,
You
like
Some
yeah,
men
your warning
keep
shot, but-
going.
And
I don't
that's-
like that.
That's the.
Or they even
Mm.
just like, you know, don't even allow the woman to even try to like, no, get off me. You know, they just start wow, wow. Like I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
you're
too
a
much
man.
for
It's
Like
all about intent.
hold them and be like, okay, get away from me. Like, you know, or
So
like
yeah, that's what most women would say, to bear hug them, push them.
Push them away.
But like the whole like closed fist, like no, because I mean they aren't
Yeah.
stronger than
with
us
the with
in
the
some
close
sense.
with
so.
the close fist thing is for some reason when, and I don't want to make it about race, but when it comes to the black culture, the black community, even the white community, because I've seen it in both, in like black and white community, when that fist is balled and you start to go in at it,
yeah.
next thing you know, something in your brain psychologically clicks. And if you are the abuser and you're used to I'm used to manipulating you, I'm used to telling you you ain't, and then coming back and pampering you. And then coming back again and telling you you didn't do something right. And you didn't pay the rent, so you need to give me my money. Now you confused. It's because you trying to please a woman or a man who is so narcissistic and the behavior has gotten so comfortable that when they get their hands on you because you say, I don't want to do this. Or you say, I'm done.
Yeah.
Or why ain't you getting on so-and-so about this? Why you getting on me? Why you keep coming at me? So then now they take their aggression out on you. So then that punch come in, and whether y'all fighting or not, coming at it, he or she is coming at you full force, then they just snap, and it's like, they just don't keep going. And it's like they know they've gotten away with it because you ain't gonna do nothing anyway.
What are you all signs?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, you love Leo season. Okay, you're a Leo as well?
I know, I'm a Libra.
Libra. Oh, I love Libra.
Virgo.
What's your sign?
Virgo. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
Yes.
So Libra, Aquarius, the air.
Yes.
Now, my thing is the only reason, I am for the physical, because I'm thinking, I'm a thinker. So I'm thinking of every possible situation. And my thing is, you can't just be one way in one situation and then not in the other. You can't just like pick and choose. So I think of my daughter. If it were my daughter, how would you handle it? And if a woman, let's say, might have a weapon, she might grab a knife in her purse.
Yeah.
Or she might have a. And my thing is, I'm not gonna let you get me before I, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's more of a, if we allowed ourselves to pick our battles, when they say pick your battles, then, because some women, they need it. They really just do. But I'm not for the overboard. If that makes any sense.
For sure. Anybody who's in the audience, are they saying like their thoughts on like anything?
So, Miss Drea said that I asked in the comments, how do y'all feel about men being the victims of domestic violence? Do you hear about it? Miss Drea said men are definitely victims of domestic violence. I feel as though they suppress it or take it lightly because it can hurt their masculinity.
Yeah,
that's true.
And we also, I asked her if you feel like men being victims are not taken as seriously. She said for sure we paint the picture of all men being protectors and providers, so it can be hard for others to take those things seriously. And she also agrees, pick your battles.
I do think it's circumstantial for sure, because there is going to be a moment you do need to.
You might, because like I said, you don't want to. And you don't want to and the thing is, you don't want to undermine anybody. Because you just never know
exactly
You
what that
never
person
know.
is capable.
Right.
So we kind of started talking about domestic violence from a celebrity standpoint with like Rihanna and Dr. Dre. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask, like, what do y'all think about the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lane situation?
I think it was for publicity, honestly, because of being in that light and being in that industry. You kind of got to know those battles and how those things are staged. Now, I will say, from my encounters of kind of seeing Tory in person, he do got a little attitude. I ain't gonna lie about that. Megan was telling the truth about that. He been out here down a few times. Love you, Tory, though.
Really too familiar. I just heard somebody got shot in the foot.
Yeah,
So
that's about
Could
it.
you all like brief me?
For sure. So for anybody who doesn't know what's going on, this is my thing. I love how she talks about celebrities. Don't get to do that on Serve on Sundays too much. But yeah, so with the Megan Thee Stallion situation, basically, we saw them on the, if you follow the Shade Room, we saw them with Tori and Kylie hanging out at some party. And then next thing you know, we're hearing reports about Megan Thee Stallion,
Got shot.
Well, actually, first we heard that she stepped on glass, and then she came on Instagram.
From the video that I saw, it was a very quick one where she was just
Mhm.
like that. I was like, if you got shot in your foot, I don't see that.
Right.
Right.
I got a tattoo on my foot, and I couldn't walk on it for 2 days.
Yeah.
So
it
there's,
hurts.
to me, I'm just kind of like, so when I saw it, and I just kind of, I didn't pick up on it, so I wasn't really sure what the whole.
And I think that's, her situation was very rare, so it did cause a lot of skepticism.
Yeah.
At first I did believe her, and then I was like, you know what, I feel like maybe she didn't really get shot.
Yeah.
Maybe she
People were
did
talking
step on the
about her.
glass.
The way she was crying was a
Crying.
really good topic.
That's what
Then
she
she went
said,
on
yeah.
live, I think a day or two ago. I finally watched it, maybe last night. And she was saying how the cops had came because she didn't get shot at Kylie's place. She was staying maybe 10 minutes away from Kylie at her house or whatnot. And Tori had shot her in the foot. I don't know where in the car, or
She said she was
in the front
out
seat.
the car because they were all arguing in the car.
Yeah.
And so what the rumor is that her best friend Kelsey
Guys,
was
messing with
dating Tori
Tori,
first, and then Tori and Megan got together.
But then
And
Tori
they were all
and
arguing
Kylie
about
got
that.
together. But then again, that goes all the way back to Hollywood,
Yes.
Hollywood, whatever you want to
All
call
like
it.
getting caught up.
Sex
I thought it
cults, all of
was
that goes
so
together.
weird that Kylie was in the video. It's like the
No.
timing was like
Y'all missed
weird.
it in the video though. Y'all missed what the girl did.
Yeah.
Megan got on live and she was like, you know what she is? I'm on live. Dancing, shaking her butt. Kylie comes in. She just like, you on live?
Uh-oh.
And she got
Yeah.
out very fast. And you did not see her for the rest of the live. Why?
Because you gotta get paid for that.
That's true.
I'm just saying because you
because
got
it was just them. There was nobody else in the pool. So
Well, that's how
apparently
she
they
is.
had
She
to
likes
be.
to show that she rubs shoulders with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So that's why, that's why when people
Mutual
are
friends.
like, how can you not believe her off bat? Like, I kind of don't like
Yeah.
the whole, like, you gotta believe people right off the
But
bat.
why
type
hasn't
thing.
Kylie said anything?
I mean, I'm
sorry.
gonna get to that, but like, I'm
I
just saying,
don't
like,
know.
when people
I
say you
gotta
have to
remember,
believe
too,
someone.
we're dealing, these are high level people.
Yeah,
that's true.
And they have money specifically set aside to cover shit up.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
There you
To
go.
cover
Very
stuff
true.
up.
Very
And
true.
so I think now with the entertainment business, it's just kind of like everybody that comes in gotta go through something.
Of
Yes,
course.
that's
You know,
true.
all of the
That's
men, God knows what they gotta do. And
Right.
God knows what the
What
women
women
gotta
gotta do,
you know?
exactly.
And then they have it how, all of a sudden my mom done died, or
Thank
My
you.
daughter
I
died.
told you
They
that.
never
I
killed the
told
kids,
you
but
that.
They
I
never
told
killed.
you that.
They never killed the children. Not right off the bat.
I
It's
done told
always
you
they go
that.
for the. They go for the father. They go for the mother. They go for the grandfather. They go for the
Believe me.
sickest person in the family. They'll find out, and then it's. When I tell you this much, I've seen some stuff, dark industry wise. Because when you finally make that decision to make the industry and being an entertainer, that's what I want to be, as an entertainer. So that's acting, modeling, and dancing, plus directing, and all of that stuff. When you finally take that leap of faith, which I've already done, and then you start seeing some things, that's whenever I was like, you start to question yourself, like, Ivy, do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
And the answer every day is still, hell yeah, I do. I sure do, because for me it's, my dad had asked me, he was like, well, why do you want to be in it so bad? If you know so much bad about this, why you want to be a part of it? I said, so I can change it. So I can at least, so my name can go down in history as I helped or I made a change.
Right.
That's the
I made a change. Like, I did something that was acknowledgeable and accommodable to the people and helping the people versus getting in there just to do the same shit. Remember I said you gotta be
Yeah.
opposite of what you see, and that's really what the young girls in Dallas really are lacking, is monkey see, monkey do. So I'm out here shaking my ass and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. Keep looking at me.
You're good.
I'm sorry, but you keep doing all of that, then the next girl she don't want to do that, and I had to kind of like, I think going on 29, I really started to like look at, do I really want my daughters shaking their behinds because they see their mama out here doing it? Because this is gonna be on a even scale. Like, for me, it's there's a deal from entertaining to just being slutty.
No, I
You
feel
know what I'm saying?
that.
There's a difference from being very sexy and sultry and witty
I get
than
that.
being sleazy and slutty and
You can
sloppy.
be Kim K without being Kim K.
There you go.
I get that.
true.
I have a
That's true.
question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So, do y'all think that if Megan wasn't black or Tori wasn't black, that the situation would be looked at different?
Yeah.
No,
about
I
them
think-
getting shot.
I think this would get the
Yeah,
same
for sure.
amount of attention because this is just like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard
Mhm.
type of situation,
I've never
where
heard
that
about
was
that.
like, no, yeah, that's very big on the.
I love Johnny is just so messed up. He's been messed crazy, but I like he's been messed up for
But
years.
Amber Heard
At first he was.
crazy.
It was
really crazy.
At first it was all reports about him beating on her, and then they
Oh,
found
I
out
know that.
that
I
she
was
was
a
the
abuser.
follower.
I was
So
a
it
freshman in
was
college, 2008, 2009. It goes way back.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that. I really
I did see that.
So I mean, they caught her recording, and she was like, she was the abuser in a lot of situations. So I feel like I don't think race really plays like anything into it. I think Megan is just that big of a star. And then I also just want to bring it back to like, do you guys think that Megan Thee Stallion's situation should be looked at as like a domestic violence situation? Because that's what a lot of girls are trying to make it into, and they're trying to make it into like some, how can you guys not believe her off bat? And I'm like, but
I get it.
she's a marketing queen.
Okay.
Driving the boat is marketing. I don't get how people don't see it.
Well,
you know?
can I say for the record, I do not like WAP. Okay.
Ooh.
I
I love WAP.
I don't even.
I do not.
I love
I
WAP.
danced to it. I'm sorry, you guys. I danced to it.
I-
There's a video on it.
Is it because of the
I don't like
lyrics?
it.
And you know what? The lyrics are dope,
Yes.
but it's just too much.
It's very.
I didn't really
is.
get that vibe.
The vibe. It's only because when I first heard the song, I'm getting in the car and all I heard was hit that thing in the back of my throat, and I'm like, what? I said, hold up. I said, she said what? And they allow that?
Yeah.
Like
You
I almost ran off the road. Like,
Hit the thing.
but for me, it's just I just think it's too much.
It was a lot.
It's just,
It was a lot.
it's not too much.
normal.
No.
It wasn't.
It was not. I
That
just.
was a normal.
You know what?
It's
sexual
like, I
song.
wouldn't, if anything, keep that 18
Okay,
and
you know
older.
what?
Don't put it on the radio. Make
Well,
that like an
police.
underground.
Okay, I'll say this. No, let's go all the way back to the
That's-
1940s. I'm sorry. Let's go all the way back.
Can I have a?
Yeah.
Jeff, what the hell?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the 1940s. 1940s, there were some songs about like the slaveries, and the white man was talking about jingling on my PP, and I didn't notice that until I started doing the history. You know, doing history of music being wanting to really pursue your dreams, you gotta study.
Right.
Always study.
Right.
You were always a student. So I'm listening to the songs. I was like, oh, well, WAP ain't that bad now that I done heard all this,
Yeah.
all of this like Bojingles and this, that, and the other singing
I feel
about
like we've been
wiggling my
listening
so and so and yo
Cause
so.
my neck, my back, my
I think
pussy,
it's
my
just
mouth.
a
For
more
me,
modern. It's just a more modern
Yeah.
version.
I just
of-
wasn't thrown off. I wasn't like, oh, pussy. Ooh.
I was
Like,
thrown
Well,
off
no,
just a little
would
bit.
you feel the same way if it came from somebody that you wouldn't think it would
If it came from like, okay, I'm gonna say this.
like if Beyonce said that?
Oh,
You know, Beyonce
okay.
would be embarrassed.
No,
So
I
she already
wouldn't.
said she was
With Beyonce, I wouldn't be
audition.
surprised because she was like on my demon time. I was like, whoa, she knows what
Yeah.
that is, but like
Yeah.
I wasn't, you know, on Savage remix. Okay, all right, we're gonna have to catch up on Instagram.
Yeah,
just a
just
little
a little
bit. Zach.
So Strict@88 says black women have been over-sexualized in hip hop since the
Yes.
start.
Yes.
And to
Yes.
that same point, you know, I think we've seen a lot of like male artists
Yes.
over-sexualize women.
Yes.
But it seems like whenever it's a woman that makes these types of, you know, puts out that type
Yeah.
of content, suddenly is when it becomes the problem.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
do agree
See,
with
and
that.
as I say, to me, there's so much balance in the world. It goes both ways. We can't just say, oh, it's our men over-sexualizing our women because the women don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to
over-sexualize
you
ourselves.
You don't have
That's
yeah.
true. You don't have
Cucumber
to.
challenge. You couldn't do anything
I know.
else.
Oh my goodness, I was disgusted.
You nothing else. And see,
That was
it's
the that's what we do. Like, why do you have to?
I was so disgusted.
I
really was so
to
disgusted.
me, that is too much.
I don't
Now,
like that.
Beyonce said, what'd she say? Drinking her watermelon seeds or whatever.
She talking about her husband.
You know, and stuff like that. Like that, in a sense, to me was it was okay.
It was
Like
It was
You know,
okay.
it went with the flow.
You think it was more tasteful?
It was very tasteful.
It wasn't too, and then you have to look at the environment she was in. It was only her and her man.
Yeah.
She wasn't fully exposed.
Nope.
You know, and they were like, so it's just kind of porn, mild.
I was
porn.
surprised to
Yeah.
see Normani in the video.
I wasn't. I was so happy. I
I
was
love
like,
her.
yes,
That is my
somebody.
bitch. But I was surprised to see her. I was
I
like,
did,
whoa, this is
yes.
not your brand, girl. Whoa.
But
Wow.
she's a dancer.
She is.
So she's
So
first
she
the
killed
dancer.
it.
You gotta understand. Normani comes first dance, then sing. So she was always a dancer first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come at it with dance. You ask me to dance, all right? Then I'm getting an opportunity to get paid.
So do you guys think this image of like being over sexualized, do you think that contributes to why men may treat women as if they're disposable?
I mean,
You
I
think
say
so?
yes and I say no.
but they shouldn't give a man a reason to like do what they do.
I
Just
say
because a
yes
woman
and
is
no.
sexy. You know, there can be women that just has that sex appeal, and it's not because they're trying to. They just when they come out.
I would say that you have some sex appeal right now.
Yes.
So would you guys, like, if she got approached by some guys and they were rubbing all up on her, would you guys be like, well, that's what the fuck she did?
No, because there's men that's like that.
I feel like women.
I have to deal with shit like that, you know? Like, oh, why you wore this, so this is what you gonna get. She
Yeah.
walk in the house like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I can't express and I like to express myself how I dress. And if I'm coming to her and I'm in some like baggy clothes, she'll be like, girl, what happened? If I'm normally like my bubbly self, naked or whatever, she's like, okay, she's having a great day. But that's just me. But I'm just saying, like growing up, like my mom as a young kid, my mom always told me, she was like, enjoy it while you're young. You know what I'm talking about? She's like, have a great time. You know, be yourself, dress how you feel. That's what I've been doing, dressing how I feel. And I feel like I've been getting so much not negative, but men have just been like, you know, just trying to like brush up on me. I'm like, don't do that. Like, well, you got that on.
I will
so-
say, I feel like we live in a time now where people are too sensitive.
That is
Like,
true.
Yeah.
Everybody is so sensitive.
That's
you
very
can't
true.
say or do anything. And going back to Rihanna,
Mhm.
I don't remember who it was she did the interview with, but it was a big interview. And she
Oprah.
was it Oprah?
Oprah.
Where she was saying that sometimes she feels like talking about sex. Sometimes she feels like talking about,
Yeah.
you know, whatever else it is that she
Yeah.
does. She just has that. And I feel like creativity has no boundaries.
It doesn't.
You know, whether it be financial, whether it be sexually, whether it be spiritually, whatever the case is. But again, I just think that there are levels to it. And
That's
so
true.
like you, I would look at you and I would say, yeah, she took some time in Forever 21 to get her outfit together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, she went to a porn store and
And
got
got
her
some
outfit.
outfit.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah.
So perception is definitely a lot, but if you have this on and you out there twerking,
Yeah.
just being
Yeah, right.
and it's like overwhelming
People
because
do
I get out there, I do whatever.
Right.
You know, but it's in a sense, it's just kind of like if you're out of your element doing it, and guys can kind of
They can sense
Yeah.
that.
They can.
They know that.
they have
Out
senses
my
just
mind.
like women do.
Yeah.
So I think it's more, but then you, like I say, it's kind of like a conditioning thing.
Right.
And I want to kind of take it back to like slavery in a sense when it comes to women being in the strip club, because if you think about it, when we were, I don't remember what her name was, but the first black slave woman who she was taken all around the world, and she was pretty much, because of her butt. She
Yeah,
had
I
a
know who
really
you're
big
talking
butt.
about. She's
Yeah.
in the museums
And she was,
everywhere.
Yeah.
prostituted all over the place because of her body. And so, because it was forcefully done, men saw that.
Yeah.
And so, because they saw it over the years, it was a conditioning. So then we get to a point to where it's just like, we're just not going to fight no more. We're just going to do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so
That's
it's
very
a
true.
conditioning thing. So it's no different, I feel like, with fathers not being there with their kids.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Especially black fathers, you don't see it. But back
That's very
then, the men were too scared to fight.
That's
So
true.
we just saw it
Saw
and
it,
we
yep.
dealt with it.
That's
So now you see a lot of men who are not there for their kids.
That's true.
And so I think it's like I said, it's a conditioning. And then you got guys that they're just born into it. You know,
That's
they don't
true.
know anything else. Their mothers don't know anything
Anything
else.
else, they're born
How
into
many
it.
of us know our grandmothers? I know I don't. I'm
Right.
just saying. I love you, Granny. But,
That's
you know, I don't
true.
know.
true. Like that's
Yeah.
to get to like Zach.
So, Stricka88 said, it's not what you wear, it's how some of these men were raised, and some just don't know how to act.
Yeah.
That's
Which
true.
I think is a good point, because to me, you know, even in this conversation, we've made comments, we've said that they do too much, but you've also said
Yeah.
that creative has no bounds.
That's true.
And to me, that is how, for me, my creativity is my spoken word, and to some people, my
Right.
spoken word is too much.
Yeah.
So I think we're
right.
always telling somebody who they're expressing their creativity,
It's
that's
too
too much.
Right.
And then you begin associating negativity to it,
Yeah.
sluttiness, putting yourself out there too much.
Exactly.
But, you know, if that's just their boundary, that's their comfort zone. If you see somebody walking down the street shaking their ass, you know, it's hard to say, oh, I don't know that person, but they're doing too much.
Yeah.
That just might be who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as a society, that's something that we see a lot, especially with black women,
Yeah.
because of how overly sexualized they have been,
Yeah.
like you said, just historically.
But I would say that I do see your point when you say that like men can sense when it's not right on a certain
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And a
They
certain
can.
woman is doing
Yes.
too much.
They know it's not her. It's like
Yeah, you
Like
can
you
that's
out
not
of like
you.
you out like you know you out of like you just out of
you gotta
like,
character.
you out of character.
You're not in your
Like,
element.
girl, you don't dance like
You don't act like
You don't
that.
act like
I've
that.
never even
I've seen a guy
Yes.
tell a girl,
You know,
like,
so I
Stop.
think to me, it's just it really is just a matter of perception.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
When people first look at you, that's generally the idea that they're gonna
Same
they're just gonna lock onto it and
Mhm.
feel like that's what it, until you prove something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But then too, you also have to keep in mind that we live in a weird ass time.
Oh
now.
Jesus, do
But
now
now
we do.
you could tell somebody
All
the
the time.
truth, show them facts, and
they
will
still won't
disregard
believe it.
it.
Like,
So,
okay.
I
Believe
think
my
we
fear.
all just need to make it very clear what we're about and what
That's
we
true.
do.
That's what I
Yeah.
yes, you
that
have
we
to.
just kind of
You don't have to worry about the
You
uh-oh
crazy people.
surprises
For real.
and the ending, because that's
For real.
usually how it happens. Is most people when they come to people, it's more of a I'm gonna show you all my good. Like my motto is I'm gonna show you all my bad first before I show you my good. Because if you can't handle my bad, then you don't need my good. And a lot of people
that
was
makes
like,
sense.
okay, why do you do that? I said, because if I can show you my crazy side, my anxiety and all of this and this, that, and the other, that I'm a ball full of mess,
Right.
then maybe you'll appreciate
Right.
the loving, the nurturing, the doing things for you, spoiling, and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do that.
Right.
It's just, I'm not about to do as much. I'm going to go the reverse psychiatry, which is I'm going to go all negative for you so that I'm going to show you all my toxic ways. I'm going to show you that my communication skills kind of suck right now.
Right.
Like, I'm good with it when it comes to business.
Right.
When did you start doing that?
What?
Like start showing people you're bad first.
A little bit
Sure, too much
before
of
my
it.
domestic violence situation, like maybe like 2017, because it started a lot of stuff sexualizing wise. Like speaking of like when you was like, is it possible that no, I don't, and I said it's yes. I said it was a yes or no.
Right.
My no was because as a little girl growing up, like you turn what 13 teenage 13
Right.
you're preteen 13 years old now, so that's when like
I know,
and I be like men, I understand now why like certain
I
you
know.
see like why men start looking and now you gotta protect these little girls because men
I
honestly
know,
are
they
sick out here
they
and
are.
women. I'm not gonna sit here and lie
My
and
mom
say they're
had to,
not.
girl, we was in Walmart, my mom had to, and I didn't even know, because I didn't know what was going on, and like, I'm just walking free, like, you know, my mom
Yeah.
always tell me, walk next to me, you know,
Yeah.
walk in front of me, don't walk behind me, don't walk, you know, in front or next to me.
Yep.
And I was just, you know, and I'm just walking,
Bouncing around.
next to, you know, mom's like, what? She only 14 years old, why you, and I'm over here like,
Uh-oh.
and then my mom was like, Kiara, I told you to walk in front of me. I'm like, Mom, I was like, I didn't do it. She was like, I understand you didn't do anything, but you don't understand.
Yeah.
These men, they're not thinking about you, okay? They're thinking about them and what they feel down there. And they looking at you like, oh, this is a little young girl. She just
Yes.
walking by herself. Where's her mother? Why is her mother not near her?
Yep.
And stuff like that. So it's like, I had got to get talked to and watching this man get like yelled at. And like, ever since then, it's like, I understand how, like, I don't like when men are like that. Like, even to this day, I'm in a store and men, y'all gotta watch men.
Yeah, no, men are
very nasty.
very nasty.
They will have their phone. If y'all don't see these
Be
men,
recording you.
and they'll just be like this, walking past you. And I have to be like,
Can
I didn't
we?
even drop it like it's high. You over here just
She's just giving the finger one good time. I see you.
like, no.
But I do it all the time at Walmart. Man, Walmart is like the club now for COVID-19. Go to Walmart to go buy some glue because my children want to make slime. I'm going in there and like I call it my breastfeeding clothing. I'm not breastfeeding no more, but that's what I call it, breastfeeding clothing, because technically it's my slouch clothing. I got no makeup on, I got no hair on. I'm literally just looking plain Jane, trying to get in and out with my face mask on. And it's like, face masks don't even work no more, because now they got something else to look at. They can't see your face, so let me look at your body.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
That's a good point.
So now let me look at your body. So I'm looking at your body even more, staring at you and
Glancing.
I'm sorry, we just have so many great comments right now.
yes.
Dose _E Kez, sorry if I said that wrong. She says that I think it's person to person. I'm going back to what's too much for some people. What's too much might be minor to another. We need to respect those differences without trying to, judge people and how they express themselves. Ms. Straya says if people minded their business and actually got to know a person or accept them for who they are, the world would be a better place. And Ms. Straya said, do y'all believe we need to be more straightforward and honest to our children about how people over sexualize?
I really feel like we do.
I was gonna actually say, like, what do you guys think? Because you're talking about being looked at 14.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that actually being normalized? 'Cause
Well,
I remember
it's not normal. It's never going to be normalized.
It was. It was very
it's-
common for my middle school classmates to have a boyfriend that was in their 20s.
It's not normal. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Like,
But see, like, to me, growing up and now,
Crazy, y'all, man.
it's not normal. I don't care if y'all say, oh, okay, they do this in this country, they do this in that. That is that country.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I'm not that culture. I don't feel it's right. I just don't feel it's right to rob that girl or that boy of their innocence, of their youth, of their childhood, honestly, for something that they didn't ask for. First of all, that is a whole lifestyle that you don't know,
yeah.
that you are stepping into, and then you're just supposed to know the ropes.
What was the question?
Should we be more honest to our children
Yes,
about
we should.
So that's why I actually feel like we should be actually like more direct with our children, because if we were more direct, they would see those warning signs.
Yeah.
Because that's why, I knew to avoid older men because my parents would talk about it so often.
Yeah.
And so I just know so many girls that have gotten into relationships with men who were way older than them and they were underage.
Man.
So
And I actually did a podcast. I have a podcast, and one of the topics was, do you think it's disrespectful to ask a woman her age?
Right.
And so I've done research on it, and there's nowhere that I found that it even started being a problem.
Right.
I just think
It's
it
not.
was something where women get older just like men, because again it goes both ways. They get older, things start happening, whatever, and you just have this self-doubt about yourself, and you see something that you would consider out of your range, and it makes you want to. But for me, like I said, I have a daughter. I know what I went through, and I would never want that for my daughter.
Right.
But going back to the age thing, it's just like, we keep things from our kids, but then when it's exposed to them, we get mad because they're both. And so it's just kind of like, that's why I'm very expressive with my daughter. I go to the gun range when I'm comfortable with a gun and I can just draw, shoot, whatever. Then I'm gonna start taking her. Hopefully by the time she's 11,
Right.
because we are in a society where we not only have to be careful protecting ourselves, so taking care of the responsibility of another child,
It's hard.
and so when you have certain people, like in certain, I don't really like to say Jewish, but I mean, they're kind of into that, they have their way of thinking.
Yes.
Sure.
And I think it's a poisonous, toxin mindset, but that's how they deal.
Yeah.
And so I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Tom Hanks. He just became like a citizen over in
like Greece or something?
Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, he became a citizen over in Greece because he had charges of messing with kids.
What?
so many people in the celebrity world have been able to just relocate.
To do that.
And
Just
No, that's
move
the same
money
thing.
and-
They do that.
But you know what?
They do.
I'll say this. When it comes to celebrities, when it comes to Hollywood, because back to the dark history. The dark, as I call it the dark side. You got the dark side. Everybody has to go through something. Everybody has to do something. A lot of that comes to like when they have their firstborn child. Like when the celebrities have their firstborn child, then they start coming after them big time. Like yeah, and then on top of that, it's more I need you, like the director will tell the main celebrity, I need you to do this, and this. Like Harvey Weinstein. Oh, I was like, God, you knew what you was doing for me because I was out there at 16. And you sent me back home.
And I
like
think
you
a
knew
lot of that in domestic violence, I feel like it's tied into that because
monarchy.
Domestically in the United States, we have a very high rate of our children being abused, whether they were kidnapped or whatever the case is. Our children are being abused, and they grow up with that, and then they channel it.
Right.
And so if we have kids that a generation of kids that all they know is that, what do we expect them to do other than that?
Right. Act on that.
Exactly.
Another thing with the black community, you guys quit thinking that counseling and therapy is like the devil.
Right.
Quit thinking that something's wrong with you
We are.
because you are going to therapy to seek professional help. Majority of the time, after you have coincide with a girlfriend or a friend, after you have gotten all the support and the help, you need to go and get that professional help, that outside help that is
Friends
from
can
the
only
outside
help
looking
you
in.
so much. Friends do not always have the
No.
tools.
You want to go get the professional help. You really got
I really
to.
need that.
What's
I
up,
feel
Zach?
like
And speaking of that, Dos Equis said, do y'all think that
They don't
generalizing
say this.
black men's behavior like that sometimes sets a precedent for how they're treated in society? I only ask because we see black men being falsely accused by women of other races quite often.
I feel like
Yeah.
when that happens, that's to the black man's fault. Like, why are you?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
In my opinion, a lot of times I don't have sympathy. I'm just like, that's on you. You didn't have to go and mess with them, because a lot of times when you are of a high level and another race is wanting to get with you, that is the only reason why they're wanting to get with you,
You know,
because you have that status. So I mean, at some point they're gonna trip you up some way, somehow. So the only way I didn't really see it was with the Tristan and Chloe situation. It was like he did her wrong, but
Mine
that's
was
another
with,
story.